Hello everyone, this is Rita Holmes, Stampin' Up! Independent Demonstrator from Hamilton, Ohio, and I'm here to bring you another technique video this week. And this week I am going to be doing, I didn't even get my card out, going to be doing the split panel card technique. As all of you may know, and if you're new here and haven't been to my channel before, I do have a Facebook group called Stamp Crazy VIP where I do techniques every Tuesday at 10 o'clock. And after that technique, I put in the files, I put a PDF with my directions and supplies for the technique and the card that I'm doing today. And you're more than welcome to go over there anytime, Stamp Crazy VIP on Facebook, and get into that group to either watch the videos there at 10 o'clock on Tuesdays mornings, Eastern Standard Time, or just to pick up the PDFs and stuff, and of all the videos you see on YouTube, as far as if they're a technique in that, they will be in those files on that Facebook group. If you do not have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would love to be that for you, and you can always contact me, and that would be great. I'll help you in any way, whether it's to buy product, join and be a hobbyist, join and try to start a business, whatever. I will be more than happy to talk to you about that. I also have my September host code. If you do see something that you like and you want to order it from me, that is the host code you would use when you go to StampinUp.com to shop. Make sure that my name, Rita Holmes, is as your demonstrator, and use that host code. Alrighty, all of that technical stuff is out of the way. So, here's my card, split panel card technique. And I only have one other sample for you today. I've had a bad knee, so I didn't go up and down my basement steps a lot to stamp this week. But I did make a cute Halloween card using the Ghoulish Goodies, because that's the only new Halloween set that I bought out of the mini catalog. So there's the catalog with the cute little kitty in the little corner there. And she'd be really cute to give her some yellow eyes, wouldn't she? But anyway, here's this card. And if you notice, I did a little bit extra. I put a little white panel in under there to kind of pop it off of that gorgeous grape cardstock. So here is my card, and I am going to show you how to do this. Now, I am going to be doing it with stamps with the Tasteful Touches stamp set, and then with the Little Treats stamp set is where I got my sentiment. You could also do this technique by just using your GSP paper and splitting it up, and just using paper and just putting a sentiment on it. That would be a really good way to use up some DSP paper that you have laying around. I also stamped the inside of my card too with the little leaves that we'll be using. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get started with this, because I want to go ahead and show you the technique and make my card real quick. It's really pretty simple and pretty fast. I am using the colors Bumblebee, Mossy Meadow, and Terracotta Tile. So what I'm going to do with those is I'm going to put some removable adhesive on here. And I had somebody ask me one time what removable adhesive I used, and it's the Herma. These have been out 15 years or more. I don't even know if they still make them, but it is their removable, and I still have a lot of it left. I bought a lot. I worked at a craft store for 25 years, and when we were closing, I decided to stock up on some of the stuff I loved, and that was one of them. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put down my middle panel. This would be my middle, and I'm going to line it up so that and I'm using a piece of grid paper. The 6x6 grid paper works great for this. So I'm going to line up each section. You want them to be right next to each other, but you do not want them to overlap, okay? So that's the only thing you really have to be careful with on this part of the getting it ready, because this is going to be your stamping surface, so you don't want any gaps in there, but you don't want it overlapping either. Okay, so there we go. We got our 3 panels there. And what I'm going to do, I'm using soft suede ink and crumb cake. I'm going to take the soft suede first with my flower from the Tasteful Touches, which is right here. I love this stamp set. So I'm going to use it, and I'm just going to ink up my flower. And as you notice, I'm turning my flowers every which way, just because I don't want them all to look like they're going in the same direction. Okay, there we go. I got my flowers on there. I think that looks like I have enough. Next, I'm going to come in with my crumb cake. And I'm going to get the leaf. And this gives, it's really subtle on here, but I'm just going to stamp it. And if I stamp it into my flowers, it's okay, because it's so subtle you can't really tell too much about it. So anyway, I'm just kind of filling in some of these areas that weren't filled. So there's my flower, okay? Or my panels, all done. And that's all the stamp, and that basically right there is your technique, okay? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this up, and I have, this is on here with removable. So let me rub that a minute and get some of that removable adhesive off of there. I'm going to go ahead real quick, because I'm going to do the inside of my card also. And I'm going to use that leaf on it also. So I'm just going to stamp. Okay, so there's my leaf. There's my inside of my card. So now we're ready to put this together. So let me bring in the other panel. So I've got my panel, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take each section and I'm going to glue it here with like 1/8 of an inch border around it, okay? So I'm going to take my Tombow glue and I'm going to pull these off one at a time where I just did my panels, and I'm going to do the 2 outside ones first, because that way then I can just line the middle up in between them and center it. It's easier that way. So I'm going to take this one and I'm going to put it over here and basically give about 1/8 of an inch border, okay? I'm going to bring my terracotta tile one that goes at the other side, and I'm not worrying about that removable adhesive that's on there. It's okay to just leave it, not worry about it. So I'm going to bring this one in and I'm going to put it and give it about, whoops, let's scoot it down. Give it about 1/8 of an inch also, okay? Need to scoot that up just a hair. Always one that'll give you a fit. Always one. It's just like kids. Always one. There you go. There we go. Now I have my 2 outside panels on, okay? So now I'm going to bring in my center panel, and I'm going to ink it the same way. Okay? And then I'm going to I'm just going to center this one. And if you'll notice from this card to this card, I tweaked my measurements a little bit so that it looked a little bit better and more uniform. So my PDF does reflect the new measurements. So just wanted to let you know that if you're like, well, this card looks a little bit different than this card with the more of the background showing. I just wanted to tell you that I kind of tweaked it so that it looked more uniform all the way around. Okay? So now that I have that done, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of the ribbon, and it's the scalloped linen ribbon that we have. It matches our end colors that will be going out this year. I'm going to go ahead and put my panel on. So what I do is I take my Stampin' seal and I'll just add a bit and put that down. Do the same over on this side. I knew I didn't take that off of there right. This stuff's a lot more stickier to me than the other stuff was, the Tombow. Then I'm going to take, and I'm going to try to put just a little bit of this right there under my ribbon and take and lay my ribbon on that, okay? Now we're going to make do the sentiment. We're going to do that in soft suede. Let me clean the edge of that a little bit. I didn't clean it from the last time I made it this morning. So let's clean that and take our soft suede. We're going to stamp our sentiment just on a scrap piece of paper. Is good. Cardstock, rather. Sorry about that. We're just going to stamp that. We're going to bring in the story label punch out of the annual catalog, which is this one. And I'm going to line that up. And punch. Okay. And then I already punched one out of soft suede, and I'm going to cut this one in half lengthwise. Let me bring this back in just for a second. I know it's dirty, but what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to make like a little border around my punch. So because we don't have a larger punch that matches it, you just take this, cut it in two, line it up at the top there to where how much you want to be shown. Whoops. And you just want to line that up, okay? Then you're going to put glue on the bottom part, and you're going to do the same thing with it. You're going to just stick that down. To where it kind of matches. And then therefore you've got a little, it doesn't meet right here on the sides. There's not going to be any brown showing, but that's okay. It's not really that noticeable. And it works really good. We are going to put some dimensionals, and I'm going to put 4. I'm going to put 2 towards the bottom and 2 towards the top. Not going too much over the center where the ribbon is, okay? And that just keeps that bulkiness out and adheres that down to the card instead of just the ribbon, okay? So anyway, we'll get these off of here. Have you guys ever done this before? It's an old technique. I mean, it's nothing new. I just thought I'd bring it back. I forget about so many things that, there we go, that I have to bring them back and do them again, you know, revisit everything. Okay, I'm going to fold my cardstock in half for my card base. Make a nice crease. I like my cards to lay really, really flat. I'm going to use my Tombow again. That is getting pretty empty. And I'm going to put a little bit on these pieces of ribbon so it holds down where that ribbon is, okay? Then I'm going to take and I'm just going to center that over the front of my card, okay? The piece, this very vanilla piece is 5 1/4 by 3 7/8. It's not a full 5 1/4 by 4. Okay, there's the front of my card. So let's glue the inside and we're done. Quick card. And like I said, you know, you can make your own panels using stamps. You can use your DSP. You could mix it up, use stamps and DSP. You could just do all kinds of things that is really, really fun. It's just an old kind of technique of card making that I wanted to bring back, which is what most techniques are, because I started teaching techniques well over 15 years ago. And so I just like to revisit them. And this is one that I thought would be a really good revisit. I did see one similar to this somewhere on either Pinterest or YouTube. She might even use this set. I'm not even real sure. But anyway, I wanted to make it look like it's kind of a fall card. You could actually put a fall sentiment on there. Or a birthday. You can do this in all different colors and make them springy, summery looking. You could do a Christmas one, which would be really, really cute. Just lots of different ideas. And I just wanted to bring this to you today to show you something quick and easy that you might want to do when you don't have a lot of time but you want to go down and be creative. This is kind of like a technique to do that with. And so I wanted to show you. This is the one we did today, and this is the one I already had made. And as you can see, they're pretty similar. Flowers are stamped in a little bit different area, but you know, that's what handmade cards are about, not having two cards look the same. So this is my technique today. I don't know that I'm going to have one next week. I am leaving Friday to go to the beach for 10 days. And I will, I know on my Facebook group I'm going to come and drop in, say hello. I don't know if I'm going to have something to share, but I don't think I'm going to be doing an actual technique next week. It'll be the week after. But until I see you guys again, you all have a great day, have a great week, and be blessed. I will talk to you later. Bye.